Hello everyone, we are group number 1. My name is Leslie Castro and I will give you an introduction.
COVID-19 is a virus that began in Wuhan City, central China in 2019. Still now doesn't have effective medical treatment, so it keeps terrifying the world. COVID-19 pandemic has pushed the world into a recession. Honduras, like every country, has suffered social and economic effects. While there is no way to know exactly the economical damage, we still can remark some points, like rising unemployment, inflow of remittance, oil price, the close of small business and stores, and more.
Luis Miguel Duarte, and I'll talk to you about increase of unemployment in Honduras. The labor sector has been one of the most affected by COVID-19 in the Honduran economy due to the work stoppage resulting from the lockout established as prevention and health norm by the state. Some companies have opted to dismiss or terminate their employers' contracts and they cannot bear the effects. In addition to the high levels of layoff, the country's economy has been severely affected throughout the process of uncertainty that micro, small, and medium enterprises are going through, which have been the most affected and most at risk of bankruptcy, which is alarming for national development if we take into account that they contribute up to the 19% of the GDP and generate more at that 16 of jobs in Honduras. The Honduran Council of Private Enterprise (COEP), based on the above, it's a paramount that these receive the necessary support to be able to cope with the effects of COVID-19 on their business, either through intelligent association or group strategies such as the implementation of innovative sales channels that adapt to the current consumer of the purchasing systems.
Hello, my name is Noelia Rivas. Increase in employment. According to the Business Resilience Survey applying the COEP to companies nationwide. In April 2020, 67% of the companies in different economic activities had not made sales due to the stoppage caused by the confinement, since only 25.4% of these companies have their own home delivery service and only 13.6% choose to use an outsourced service. In addition, to the current situation, 50% of these companies are really in the process of closing operations because they cannot bear the financial burden caused by the productive stagnation. 44% forced a use life of their company of only 1 to 3 more months. In their probably does not improve, and only 6% say that their company could survive for 6 months or more than a year with the crisis. Alarming data that does not a dark scenario for the labor sector, which could translate into an excessive growth in the unemployment rate in Honduras.
Hello, my name is Eric Gallagher. I will talk about Honduras does not take advantage of the falling oil prices. However, although the price of gasoline decreased, it was not the detriment expected by the main analysts due to the constant cost of oil refining, which only plays the role of an input in the production of gasoline and cost of gasoline taxes. In other words, although the fall in fuel prices partially offset the disproportionate increase in food prices, largely due to the closure of markets and the increase of the price of some products due to hoarding and shortages caused by the interruption of the commercialization chain in the region by the coronavirus. The decrease in fuel prices in the first quarter to 2020 could not oppose this effect in this entirety as indicated by the CPI, with increase of 0.38% in the month of April, which is expected to rise in May BCH 2020. In the other words, the Honduran economy could not appease the effect of the pandemic in the totalitarian way, taking advantage of the opportunity in the fall in the price of crude oil, and which only traces will remain as a result of the current rise in the price of WTI, which already generates an expectation of greater demand thanks to the first opening of the foreign economies that will rise the price of crude oil. With it in the price flows, this has been reflected in the current increase in the price of gasoline in the domestic market, which is expected to increase the price of some basic products. Thank you.
Hello teacher, my name is Francisco Mejia. The Honduras agriculture sector has been considerably impacted by COVID-19, but in terms of export and national supply. By April 2020, producers of our national agriculture sector report loss of 70%. The reason is clear. They cannot effectively distribute these products due to cessation of work a large number of the restaurants because of preventive confinement. Salvatierra 2020. In addition, at the state level, my export products such as coffee and have suffered the effects of crisis due to crossing on borders. The International Coffee Organization (ICO) mentioned that and short-term consumption outside on the home is decreasing significantly due to quarantine applied in the large number of the country, and therefore companies that import in larger quantities, such as hotels, restaurants, etc., have to stop doing so.
Hi, my name is Delmi Mejia. I will continue to tell you about the impact of COVID-19 of the Honduran economy. The result present by the ACO explained that were 1% growth in GDP, growing linked to a 0.95% growth in the world demand for coffee, a situation that would directly affect the Honduran trade balance, as coffee is one of the products that contribute the most foreign currency to the country in terms of exports. Along with the impact generated in the coffee sector, the international price of palm oil decreased 12% according to the Food and Agriculture of the United Nations FAO, mainly due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the drop in oil price, since most of the palm oil exported is destined to become biofuel of the drop in oil price does not allow markets such as the European market to subsidize biodiesel. This means a decrease in the country's foreign exchange income based on exports, thus directly affecting the balance of payments. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Franza Vanegas and I talk about the contraction of remittance flow. Another effect of COVID-19 on the Honduras economy is on the territory. The contraction is remittance. The inflow remittance of the Honduras in the month for March 2020 has suffered a deceleration of 10.3% in relation of the month of March 2019, in which it grew by 5.1%. The forest costs the largest investment in recent history 2020, falling sharply by up to 20% worldwide, mostly due to the collapse of wives and employment of migrants workers, because are the most vulnerable to jobs losses by the economic crisis that country are suffering as a result of the pandemic. This is an adverse scenario for foreign exchange income to the country and as a strong blow to the economy of Honduras. Households considering the large number of families who depend financially of the remittance they receive from their relatives abroad.
Hi, my name is Laura Claudia Duarte, and today I will going to talk to you about relevant policies. The economic impact in Honduras is evident. In the course of few months during the pandemic and the confinement derived from it. In view of this, it is necessary that responsible entities apply a series of economic policies to help to counteract these effects. Policies that help to combat these problems, such as those that suffered by micro entrepreneurs by facilitating cash flows and credit channels that allows to remerge and position their business. In addition to the central bank to provide liquidity to the economy during the time of the crisis, by lowering the legal reserve and using the TPM as a relevant guide rate that serve as a reference of financial institutions. Enhance technological innovation channels that for sales and learning to support traders to not leave aside and don't leave aside young people and children who represent the future of our nation. In addition to the creation of economic emergency programs and projects such as those used in 2008 to combat the real estate crisis in conjunction of international patterns and entities that enable the lifting of the national productive market and the international trade. And above all, save the welfare of the people by strengthening the health system, making use of the credits obtained by a transparent manner to combat the immunological effects of the virus.